A country where the sun rises on the shores of the Pacific and sets on the edge of the Red Desert. Where the water bodies are the world's picture, this country is Australia. Do you know that Australia is the most important country in the world, where Bangladesh is ranked 123rd highest? In Australia, a citizen earns less than $3,000 for a total of $64,821. Where there are also the most poisonous snakes and everyone's best friend lives. The number of sheep in Australia is more than double the number of people. This country has an animal called kangaroos that cannot walk north. Australia's Coober Pedy, where people live on one piece of land. Why is Australia the happiest country? And Bangladesh is lagging behind in that market. In this video, we will compare Australia and everything from peace, development, education, economy to lifestyle. Let's debate how far ahead and who is behind. A continental country that is considered a continent, a country, and an island at the same time. It is an important part of the Indo-Pacific region. The Pacific is in the east, India is in the west, Papua New Guinea and Indonesia are in the north. And in the south, it extends towards the South Pacific or the South Pacific. Like Australia, it is a large geographical area between Southeast Asia and the South Pacific. According to Wikipedia, Australia has an area of about 76 days 17,930 square questions. Which will be known as a country with the power to maintain. Which is about 52 times larger than it looks. It is a deserted land that is not in any other Australian territory. Surrounded by water on all sides. The city of Australia is Canberra. Sydney Melbourne was the main city of Australia. Punjabi city was the voter. So a new city was created in the middle through compromise. Today it is Canberra City. Do you know that the name for Australia is Australian shares? Which is called AUD in short. And the symbol of this exchange is expressed. However, to connect it with other country. Surrounded by water on all sides. The city of Australia is Canberra. Sydney Melbourne was the main city of Australia. Punjabi city was the voter. So a new city was created in the middle through compromise. Today it is Canberra City. Do you know that the name for Australia is Australian shares? Which is called AUD in short. And the symbol of this exchange is expressed. However, to connect it with other countries, this letter must be written before the digital sign. Today, $1 Australian in Bangladeshi currency can be about 79 to 80 taka. If you exchange 10 Australian counters for another, it will be like 800 codes. Although this rate changes over time. The official language of Australia is English. However, the pronunciation and vocabulary of the words are different. What is known as Australian English is also spoken by many people in different regions of Australia. Such as Chinese, Arabic, Vietnamese, Greek, etc. The languages of the indigenous people of Australia are called Aboriginal languages. Although many of those languages may be lost today. Some are still trying to preserve them. According to Wikipedia, the population of Australia in 2025 is about 2.7 million, where the political population is more than 175 million. Much more Australia is strong in size. The population situation is very low. This makes it a country with a low population and political life. Where only 3 people live per square question. And 1350 people live per square proposal. Many people in Australia practice Christianity, about 44%. Where Islam is about 3.2%. The number of people who do not practice any religion is 39%. The remaining 13.8% are people of other religions. The Australian Constitution has guaranteed normality. Here, anyone can practice any religion. Or they can live without religion. There is no restriction on religion. Free in their own beliefs and practices. Australia is a prestigious country today, ranking at the top of various
China. China's new map shows India's Arunachal Pradesh and Aksai Chin. Published, August 29, 2023, 2011. Update, August 29, 2023, 2021. China's new map shows India's Arunachal Pradesh and Aksai Chin. China has officially updated its territorial map. The 2023 version of the map shows India's Arunachal Pradesh and Aksai Chin regions as part of China, despite Indian officials saying that China and India had agreed to reduce border tensions at the just-concluded BRICS summit in South Africa. According to a report by Indian media outlet NDTV, the map published on August 28 claims Arunachal Pradesh as China's southern Tibet. It also says that Aksai Chin was annexed by China in the 1962 Sino-Indian War. Taiwan and the disputed South China Sea are also included in the new map as Chinese territory. China claims a large part of the South China Sea on its map. Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Brunei also claim parts of the South China Sea. The region has long been a site of geopolitical tension over control of the sea. China's Ministry of Natural Resources released the map on Monday in Daqing County, Zhejiang Province, during the celebration of Survey and Map Promotion Day and National Map Awareness Promotion Week, according to the China Daily. India and China agree to reduce tensions on border. India and China agree to reduce tensions on border. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Xi Jinping recently met on the sidelines of the BRICS summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. Later, Foreign Secretary Vinay Kwatra said that in his conversation with President Xi Jinping, Prime Minister Modi raised India's concerns about the unresolved issues along the Line of Actual Control, LAC, in the western part of the border region. Prime Minister Modi said that upholding the LAC is essential for maintaining peace and stability in the border areas and normalizing India-China relations. The two leaders agreed to direct their respective officials to intensify their efforts in this October 23, 1962. On that autumn morning, Chinese troops entered the Indian border and began shelling. The incident took place in the Himalayan region of northeastern India. The area bordering China and Bhutan was then known as the Northeast Frontier Agency, or NIFA. Now that region is a state of India. Its name is Arunachal Pradesh. More than 1 million people live there. So far, China has been claiming Arunachal as its territory. The latest clash between the armies of the two countries took place there. Swedish journalist and author Bertil Lintner has written a book about the conflict between China and India. The book is called China's India War, Collision Course on the Roof of the World. He said, the explosion lit up the sky and echoed in the mountains. Chinese troops entered an Indian position, killing 17 Indian soldiers and capturing 13 others. The Indian soldiers did not have much weapons. Due to this, they could not put up much resistance against the Chinese troops that day. The next day, China attacked a nearby valley and captured the small Buddhist monastery town of Tavong. The Chinese troops then advanced south, reaching another small Buddhist monastery town called Bondala in the hills in mid-November. The town is 250 kilometers from Assam, India, famous for its tea gardens, oil fields, and jute fields. Then on November 21, the Chinese declared a ceasefire and withdrew 20 kilometers north of the Line of Actual Control, or LAC, which demarcates the border between the two countries. The LAC was the border between the two countries in British-ruled India. Bertil Lintner said the war ended. But a few days later, Chinese People's Liberation Army, PLA, troops withdrew to Chinese-controlled areas of the Himalayas. According to India, 1,383 of its soldiers were killed in the fighting and about 1,700 were missing. According to China, 4,900 Indian soldiers were killed in the fighting and 3,968 were captured alive. Manoj Joshi, an Indian defense analyst,